Hey everyone, it's Dundar here. I recorded a Binding of Isaac run I did yesterday as Judas. I was able to get up to Mom's Heart, and I think I did pretty well. I had definitely a lot of luck this run, and it was pretty fun for me, so I'll leave it to the gameplay for now, and if anything important comes up, I'll be sure to narrate over it. This is the first time I ever got this red monstro, and as you can see it didn't really matter because I have the Book of Belial, which is one of the reasons I love Judas so much, is because he just has so much damage, and it really did help that I got the health early on. I don't get hit here, but against some of the later bosses, if you don't have health, that can really kill your run. But this wasn't too difficult. I think they're weaker anyway, and I got SQUEEZY, which just helped me even more with damage. You might be wondering why I just decided to go to the boss right away rather than trying to find the item room first, and the reason for that is because I figured I could kill pretty much whatever the boss could possibly be, because it is just basement 2. None of these bosses are really too tough, and given the fact that I have a ton of damage and a good amount of health already as Judas, there's not much that could really be a problem for me, and I figured it would just be a good idea to go ahead and just kill the boss so I could have just pretty much free time to go explore the rest of the floor. And that's a pretty good strategy for any floor really, especially the later ones if you don't want to worry about dying to the boss after you get all the items. You also might be wondering why I didn't get Brimstone here, and that's just because I don't personally really like Brimstone. I know it can be really good, but I prefer just using Tears, especially because the fire rate's a lot better, and because I already do have a lot of damage. It seemed like the better option, and I did end up getting Guppy's Paw though for the extra soul hearts, just because I figured I would be losing 2 hearts, but I kind of hoped that the 3 soul hearts I'd get from it would make up for it. I do decide not to get Mom's Bra here, although it is a pretty good item. Because I am playing as Judas, I already have the Book of Belial, and that is such a good item as well, and because it gives me so much damage, I just decided to keep it. And if I can remember right, I do keep it until the end of the run. There's really only a few items you might want to take instead of this, but for the most part, if you're ever playing Judas, you pretty much want to just keep this because you can always benefit from more damage. Here I pick up MITRE, which further increases the amount of, I think the exact stats are it's a 50% more or higher chance that when a heart spawns it'll be a soul heart, so that was a great item to get. That just pretty much furthers my decision to get more soul hearts. And I find another secret room down here because of the X-ray goggles. See right there, you can see that two of the items were soul hearts from the blood machine, and that was probably because of MITRE. I really do hate Peep. He's one of the bosses that gives me the most trouble, aside from the bloat. I'm not really sure why. I'm sure some people have no problem against him, but I personally just really struggle with him. And I really hate all enemies that jump in this game. But you'll see I do end up losing a good amount of health from him. But fortunately the room I was in made it so that I could block a lot of his hits. When you're in the open rooms, that's probably one of the worst ways you can fight Peep. I pick up the 1-up mushroom here, which is an item I don't usually see in my games, but something that I didn't get to use it this game, unfortunately, but something that I just wasn't really sure about is, if you will remember, I also got the Ankh earlier on, which that would mean I have 2 items that will bring me back to life. So I'm not sure if it works like that, but I would guess that that would mean I have technically 2 revives. Again, I'm not 100% sure if that's how it works. I would guess that's how it works, but I'll have to try it out sometime. And if anyone who's watching this actually knows if that does work, if they could tell me, that would be really great. From here on out, I'm going to double speed up these rooms so the audio is going to be off, because I assume no one wants to sit here and watch me just gamble away. Nothing really important happens here, so if you skip over this, that's not really a problem. I'm just getting more coins and bombs and all that good stuff, but I will try to speed it up as much as I can without it being ridiculous. Again, here I skip out a lot on the Devil Room just because I don't have a lot of health, and although Spirit of the Night especially right there would have been really useful, I don't want to get rid of the 2 hearts I have left, because then I'm just living off of Spirit Hearts, which is perfectly fine, but there's always the chance that you're not going to find a lot more Spirit Hearts in the run you're doing, and that kind of messes everything up, and I want to try to keep my heart containers as much as I can, so that when I do find hearts on the ground, they're not just completely useless. Here I'm just gambling again with the money I just got from fighting greed, so it's gonna be the same thing. I'll just speed it up. Nothing, again, nothing too amazing happens here. And if you do want to skip over it, that's perfectly fine. I'm just getting keys and whatnot. These mask enemies are probably one of the worst enemies in the game for me. I know a lot of people have trouble with them, and I'm definitely no exception. And of course, the Mask of Infamy boss is just as bad for me. I'm not really sure why I have so much trouble with them, because they kind of just move the same as the knights, but they just, I think they just seem to like corner you a lot more often, and I don't know, I don't like them. Whenever I record my run, if I have to run into them, you'll probably see me mess up on them at least once or twice. A quick tip is whenever you have a room with these type of bomb spewing enemies, they'll usually be green. Either the ones that are the ones here that have no heads, or the stationary ones, or the ones that do have heads. You definitely want to try to use them to check out all the room, or check out all the walls, sorry, and try to blow up all the rocks to try to give access to all the things inside of the room. It's an easy thing to do, and it can save you a lot of bombs. Another tip is if you do find an item in a room that you don't want, you can just pick it up and then use it and then put it back down. You don't have to take it with you, and it won't spawn again in your run. So right there, Lemon Mishap is a pretty bad item. I didn't even want it, so I didn't even bother to pick it up, but I wasn't planning on picking up anything in this run anyway, besides the Book of Belial, so I didn't want to do that. But in the future, if you do get an item that you don't want to show up again, like Lemon Mishap or like something else that's pretty bad, like the Kamikaze Vest, then you can just do that and it won't show up again in the run. Oh, also, if you're trying to get Samson, which requires you to skip 2 treasure rooms and then go ahead and kill Mom's first phase, which is just her leg, then you actually can go inside of the room, you just can't pick up the item. So like right there, I didn't pick up the item, so that counts as skipping the treasure room. I got pretty lucky for my Necropolis boss. Necropolis is the Wrath of the Lamb version for the Depths and the Depths 2. And it's supposed to be harder than the Depths. And there are definitely special bosses because I have Wrath of the Lamb. I got it pretty easy by getting Carrion Queen. I've gone against her once before, and I didn't know what was so special about the red poops that she keeps putting down on the map, but I realized halfway through the fight that they keep respawning in the area, so I just made sure to stay away from them. But as you can see, she's really not too different from fighting Chub or fighting or I think it's just Chad. The only difference is that she is like a lot of the enemies in the Depths, where you can only attack them from the back. But you'll notice that she really this wasn't too hard of a fight. I could have had it way worse with some of the other bosses. You'll see me do this trick right here that a lot of people do, where you can walk through spikes diagonally if it's open, like right there, like you can see the formation that these spikes are in. It works on all types of spikes, so either in the base game or in the womb with the weird curved like spikes, they're the same thing. As long as you walk in from the angle, which isn't really too hard, it'll work. And right there I do end up using my Emperor card just to go right to the fight after I charge up my Book of Belial. It's definitely a good card to use if you just want to go right to the boss and don't want to have to worry about possibly dying on the floor, which it could have possibly happened if I got stuck with a lot of masks like it's happened before. But the first mom fight really isn't too difficult. It really just takes practice, and if you especially have damage, it really is not that hard of a fight at all. And here I get even more damage and range from the Jesus juice, and it's onto the womb. This is something I actually didn't know, but if you back out of the room like I do in a couple seconds, right there, it actually can change what version of the, I'm not sure what those enemies are called, but they're pretty much, they copy exactly what you do and they look a lot like you. They move exactly like you do and they fire whenever you fire, so I went out and came back in and got the one that was actually walking, so I was able to just walk over the spike pit and kill him. Just when I thought nothing could have messed up my run, I get faced against the bloat, and I did get really nervous here. I thought I might possibly die, but I pretty much just realized that I'm gonna get hurt, and I just took advantage of the invincibility frames just to keep attacking him, and you'll see that I did end up killing him pretty fast. I probably could have lost a little bit less health, but this is one of the hardest bosses in the game for me, so I just figured I'll take the damage and just finish him off. So we finally get to the big fight with Mom's Heart, and the strategy I end up using is a pretty basic strategy. I quickly try to take out the eyes that shoot lasers so that I don't end up taking a lot of damage from them. And I sit on the side of the room and just wait for her to come down and just attack it. A strategy I was trying was the bomb strategy, where you run up and put a bomb down to try to kill all of the things that she spawns so that they can't hurt you. I kept hitting myself when I did that because I don't have a lot of practice with it, and my bombs weren't that strong, they're just standard bombs, so I figured it would be easier just for me to stand there and just go ahead and shoot. And you'll see right here, I finish her up pretty quickly after that. I do unlock Robo Baby because it is my first time playing through with Judas. I didn't want to go to Sheol even though I could because I've never done that, so I'll let you watch the ending. And these are the credits. So if you don't want to watch the credits because you don't want to spoil a future boss or something like that, then you can go ahead and stop watching here. Nothing happens. I just sit through the credits and it goes back to the main menu. If you do leave here, thank you for watching, and I will be sure to get some more Isaac up later. If you want to go ahead and just watch it through, like I said, it just goes back to the main menu. But thank you again for watching, and I will be sure to get some more Isaac up soon.